Hello, and welcome to Lion Rider! Hello, all you woodland creatures and mechanistic cyborgs from beyond the veil, and welcome to the top 10 Lion Rider tracks of 2023, the 8th annual installment of this series presented by the Lion Rider Artists Collective. As always, if you just want to watch the tracks and don't want to listen to us talk over them, click on the link to the playlist of tracks without commentary up above or down below. This year we had a panel of 21 judges and 11 reviewers. This video contains intense visuals such as graphics that may induce motion sickness, as well as discussion and depiction of mature topics like colonialism and nudity. Those and any other content warnings you might need a heads up about are all listed in the description down below. The full breakdown of content warnings for each individual track is also in the playlist description.
Number 10, Everything Goes On by Pac. Everything Goes On is a track about moving on, from trauma, from grief, or from one's past. Despite diving into these feelings of regret and loss, the track soothes these emotions by telling us that we aren't alone. Everything Goes On uses a unique way of making sharper and thinner lines using the color layer feature, giving the art a messy but charming style. With this technique, Pac builds a variety of cozy landscapes, a stroll through the park, a night sky full of stars, and a sunset on the horizon. The track then transitions between these calmer sections and sections of full energetic movements, which makes me bounce in my seat in excitement. Everything Goes On also uses the music by Porter Robinson in order to express the meaning really well. Pac's drawings paint a picture of his understanding of the song, emphasizing the warmth and connection between people. He also writes out the lyrics at key moments, which feels as though the track is speaking directly to me, letting me know that my loved ones will stay by my side. As someone who lost a loved one myself, this message speaks to me a lot. It gives me this warm feeling in my heart when Everything Goes On tells me to move forward and that it's okay to be happy, because the person I lost is always with me. It makes me feel like I am talking to them again, and they are telling me that things will be okay.
Everything goes on.
Number 9, After by Bevel Harvey and UTD. After is a track about change over time and the loss that comes with it. It's probably the simplest track on this list, but it still stands out for its emotional impact. The way the writer lingers on the same curves multiple times conveys how loss takes time to process and accept, and can leave you feeling stuck in a thought spiral. The sparse level of detail makes the track feel empty, which gives a sense of solitude to the dark night the writer traverses. I also like how the track's meaning is left fairly open-ended, because it allows the track to speak to a variety of people's experiences with change. My favorite part of the track, though, is its main set piece, a pair of trees, one of which is cut down in the present but standing in its reflection in a bright pond. It's a beautiful, sentimental visual that makes it feel like the past and the present are both staring you in the face. It's true that this track is sad and doesn't end with a neat resolution, but neither do life's hardships. Instead, it offers a space to sit and reflect alone, one in which our responsibilities often forget to give us.
Number 8, Gaia by Melisma. As an artist, Melisma is fascinated by technology. His 2022 track, Gamification, subjects Bosch to the rules and control schemes of various video games, making extensive use of Lion Rider's obscure technical features. His 2023 release, Gaia, synced to King Gizzard's eco-conscious 9/8 psych metal banger of the same name, is a bit different. While Melisma's technical chops are still on full display, Gaia trades digital influence for the forces of nature. Bosch zips through colossal landscapes of frantic scribbles, tumbling down rocky mountains and soaring over roaring waves. Melisma uses slow motion to give us fleeting glimpses of scrawled-out lyrics and scenery before Bosch returns to her breakneck pace. Rapid camera zooms communicate the sheer scale of where we are. Size and time are key themes here. We realize that we are not in control, and neither is Bosch. The environment will prevail. The track's final 2 minutes are its most impactful. Bosch has plunged too far into the earth. She's dismounted and flung along to a pummeling drum solo. A volcano erupts in protest, and Gaia becomes a battle cry. The lava comes to life and chases after Bosch in sync to a piercing guitar solo. Miraculously, Bosch has remounted and she speeds away with deliberate, dancerly twirls. She seems untouchable, but suddenly, the lava envelops her. And as the music fades, we see a lone green tree, defiant. The environment still prevails.
Number 7. Autogynephilia by Autumn. Autogynephilia is a track about having an identity crisis and figuring out that you're a trans lesbian. It's about dissociation, denial, shame, fear, desire, and courage. It's about gender envy, sexual desire, and teasing out the difference between the two. An extremely difficult challenge in a world that teaches you from birth that gender is assigned, binary, and inviolable. In this society that relentlessly insists that gender dysphoria isn't real, any desire to be seen and treated as a woman is merely autogynephilia, a perverse and predatory variation of sexual desire for women. In the track Autogynephilia, Autumn deftly deconstructs this titular concept by conveying an overwhelming sense of being pulled towards an inexorable, undeniable truth. With its gender-coded color scheme, directionally chaotic movement punctuated by distinct pauses, a manually controlled fixed camera in unspoken dialogue with the rider, and visuals ranging from text dialogues to stick figures to detailed depictions of anatomy, Autumn expertly conveys the precise shape of her desires. Particularly, how what she wants to do is separate from who she wants to be. Autogynephilia is the kind of art we desperately wish we could have seen when we were younger, trapped in a loop of wondering if we were gay or asexual but unable to square that with our desire for women, utterly dissociated from our physical form, and entirely unable to imagine a future where we might be happy. I hope that this Line Rider track can help someone out there who might be struggling with similar things. Maybe it's you.
Number 6, Disquietude by Goose. School is formative. Many children experience much of their lives primarily through the education system, whether they are making friends, developing their ideals, or finding their passions. In this often hostile world, school can be a shelter, importantly providing people access to education. But what if it doesn't? Goose's Disquietude is a gripping artistic exploration of how school failed them. Something that I love about a lot of Goose's tracks this year is their use of color to create atmosphere. Disquietude starts off in a gloomy town, using shades of grey to paint an anxious and lonely mood. The contrasting red highlights powerfully guide one's attention throughout the track, especially in the piece's climax where Bosch is held through an avalanche of Goose's drawings. Her bully, exam results, headlights, bulldozers. These are symbols of violence that Goose has encountered and urges us to recognize that this violence is intrinsic to the system around them. Disquietude communicates this truth with deeply haunting images, like one which depicts their school's blood-red cross and flag. I'm sure many people can relate to these feelings, that sometimes school itself can turn into a source of bullying, religious trauma, and academic anxiety, which can become a focal point of a student's life. This track reminds me that this kind of violence is systematically happening to children, especially to queer people and ethnic minorities. Disquietude is beautiful because it depicts Goose using art to strike back at what hurt them. It's tragic that this kind of art is necessary, but inspiring that it is possible for it to exist.
Number 5, Centralia Fire by September Hoffman. There's an image of fire as a quick, blink and you'll miss it event. One moment it's there, and the next it's gone, leaving behind only ashes. A raw force of destruction that at least ends, but nothing natural is really so simple. Centralia Fire confronts us with a different type of flame, one that burns slowly underneath the surface and spans across generations. September, by invoking the story of the real, man-made Centralia mine fire, explores what this kind of slow fire means. Centralia Fire depicts a landscape of ash-covered trees, smoke pouring from the ground, and ruins set ablaze. One striking moment features the burning wreck of a Hell is Real sign. This imagery evokes a variety of topics: the eternal fire of biblical hell, the societal problems that quietly burn below us, and the literal environmental destruction these problems lead to. I myself grew up near a peat bog. Peat is a very flammable material, so periodically it catches flame and the ground burns for weeks. This is only becoming more and more common with climate change. Many of us are dealing with wildfires in our areas and are having to reckon with fire and our relationships to the land. Even if there aren't literal flames around you, Centralia Fire encourages us to look within. With this track, September does an excellent job of prompting us to introspect by asking several questions. What fires might lay beneath the surface of our lives? What fuels them and who started them? And most importantly, how do we confront them so that our environments may become healthy once again?
Number 4. Hide and Seek by UTD and Bevel Harvey. Place defines identity. Where you grew up is intimately connected to who you are, as the history of a place shapes your everyday surroundings, your family, your language, what you learn and believe. But a place can also shape your abuse. In Hide and Seek, UTD and Bevel tell a story about family abuse by painting a picture of a colonized place, drawing parallels between the infrastructural abuse done towards the land and the abuse that circulates through generations of families. The writer traverses a landscape of repulsive, oozing iconography, which includes cars, excavators, and Confederate flags, evoking the dread of living in white-centric North American suburbia. This culminates in the iconic bridge of Imogen Heap's Hide and Seek, where the ooze that polluted previous sections of the track drips out of the very words of the abusers. What I found really special about Linewriter and its community in 2023 is seeing artists not just making art about how they've grown, but doing the actual learning, growing, and processing through the art making itself. I feel especially honored to have watched UTD grow as an artist ever since they put out tracks like Cradles and Silhouette, which attempted to cover similar themes of abuse and discrimination, but were shaky in concept and execution. Just as beautiful as it is heartbreaking, Hide and Seek is UTD's biggest artistic step yet, giving a voice to those who are systemically erased and representing the solace and pain in leaving home.
Number 3. Outside by Xavier LR. Xavier LR's Outside takes the highly dense originality of their 2021 release And the Day Goes On, and develops it even further into a masterful example of their unique personal style of track making. Outside is best described as a satisfying visual feast which makes sure to entertain the viewer at every instant. Each moment of the track goes by at a fast pace, giving Outside a joyful tone that feels fresh and exciting throughout. Xavier's skillful use of video editing, which is quite rare elsewhere in Linewriter, manages to amplify the track's whimsical tone even more. This flood of new ideas and personal expression culminates in a climactic sequence where Bosch escapes the digital confines of Xavier's laptop before spinning into a cardboard cutout which exits through the door to the outside world. Bosch, in his newfound freedom of physical form, explores the arrangement of real-world places ranging from Xavier's backyard to Disney World's Cinderella Castle. With the delightful use of obscure jokes such as Chugger's car mod and momentary allusions to other significant Linewriter tracks like Jagged Peak Adventure, Outside is truly a joy to watch for Linewriter fans. Having been made over the course of 5 months in early 2023, this track is riddled with memes and imagery of that time period. In the beginning of Outside, we see a brief news article about the global COVID-19 pandemic, contextualizing the track with a loose narrative of wanting to go outside while being stuck in quarantine, an experience which is widely shared in the wake of 2020. Throughout the course of Xavier's Linewriter releases, their tracks have become increasingly zany, but in a more honest and thoughtful way. As a result, Xavier presents us with a genuinely lighthearted and entertaining track that is a delight to anyone watching.
Number 2. Cerno's Perfect Math Classroom by Xiaozhou2333. At a basic level, Cerno's Perfect Math Classroom takes the act of test-taking and turns it into a high-octane music-synced experience. But what makes Cerna's Perfect Math Classroom really stand out is Xiaozhou's ability to creatively introduce thrilling new ideas in each moment-to-moment beat of the track. 1 second, Cernos is using its riders to do complex narrative choreography, like bouncing a rider around to fill out test answers, and in the next, Xiaozhou pulls out some kind of insane full-color animation, such as lip-syncing a character to the song's lyrics or having the environment reactively respond to the rider's movement. As a result, Xiaozhou manages to pack Cernos with so many new and well-executed concepts that it manages to feel like nothing else in all of Line Rider. Throughout 2023, Xiaozhou has been working to make Line Rider accessible to Chinese spaces through making tutorials and building community on the Chinese video sharing platform Bilibili. Because of this, Cerna's Perfect Math Classroom ends up being a showcase of East Asian pride, not just for Xiaozhou, but on behalf of the entire Line Rider Bilibili community that Xiaozhou has fostered. And that pride is unapologetically nerdy and rooted in fandom. Being a Line Rider-based recreation of a fan-made Touhou music video, this track is fan art of fan art. From the countless moments that intricately reference the characters and lore of the Touhou project, to the train models taken directly from the Chinese railway system, to the dozens of actual math problems that all equal 9, Cernos is clearly about so many things that Xiaozhou deeply cares about. Both as a loving work of fan art and a surreal experience for Line Rider enjoyers, Cerna's Perfect Math Classroom represents a special and exciting moment in Line Rider's culture and history.
And the number one track of 2023 is...
Drumroll sound effect, drumroll sound effect, drumroll sound effect.
Hitogai Masu, There Are People by Branches Jade. Branches is no stranger to these yearly top 10s. Over the past 5 years, she's consistently put out Line Rider art that is reflective, emotionally vulnerable, and beautifully constructed. And in 2023, Branches put out her most experimental and willfully personal work yet. There Are People is a massive, film-length collection of interconnected Line Rider tracks centered around Branches' experiences with language, identity, and interpersonal relationships. Over the course of Hitoga and Masu, we learn more about Branches' relationship to Tulips, their partner, and the complicated overlapping feelings of love and loss they experience as they grow closer to each other and attempt to bridge the distances between them, across languages, cultures, and personal histories. Hitoga and Masu is also a sensory delight, with sudden and moving shifts between visual styles, from lonely monochromes to kaleidoscopic worlds of colors. One especially memorable sequence features colorful text which slowly blooms into what I can only describe as a lesbian sunset, as a Mitski song reaches its explosive climax. And then, it shifts quickly back into silence, while Bosch drifts by a poem written in slate gray text. The end result is a track that feels massive, full of life and complexity and care for others that extends past the edges of the computer screen. As a result, There Are People feels like a rare Line Rider work that's not afraid to be personal in ways that might be completely inaccessible to a general audience. Featuring written text in Japanese and Dutch, involved references and quotations of other Line Rider artworks, and unexplained symbols within Jade and Tulip's personal mythology, There Are People is not really a track that's meant for any one person to completely understand. Instead, by allowing us to dwell in those opacities, it forces us to reflect on our own lives and understandings of ourselves, holding a mirror to our connections with one another. Yes, absolutely, there are people. You, me, and all of us.
People inside of every human being.
And now, it's time for this year's Judge's Choice category. Each judge had the opportunity to select an additional track from the past year that they personally loved, and to provide a short audio submission which engages with the track in whatever way they wanted. We had some absolutely fantastic submissions this year, so without further ado, here they are.
Well, they just don't make tracks like this one anymore. I've been hoping to see track like What Was I Made For since 2015, when music syncing was first introduced. Well, September, Crazy Lady Wind Doggone done it. Track kicks ass. Go watch it.
My judge's choice is Bronx to see the next part of the dream. This track imagines the depths stylistic atmosphere of paranoia song as the landscape of people by sampling other tracks into a messy patchwork that Bosch weaves through. It never fails to be relevant to my life, making me reflect on the people around me, our pasts, our presents, and our futures, all intertwined and coexisting in a massive, complex, terrifying, beautiful dream.
Imagine yourself in space, lights swirling around you, colors changing. You're feeling weightless, sledding across the universe. Watch this creation if you want to feel some satisfaction.
Are you tired of people telling you to touch grass? Are you tired of wanting to go outside? You put on a jacket, you put on your scarf, and bam! 5 layers of rain, and a tornado has already taken down 5 houses. Which is why Jose Wolf's Monody is the perfect track for you.
踩点作为 LAN 的社群内的主流玩法，吸引了不少音游人用该游戏对音游曲进行再演绎，而 Sunny 的 Distorted Fate 则在该类作品中表现相当出色。其中结尾部分尤为精彩，在电吉他的映衬下，它不仅还原了 Figures 谱面，更是巧妙运用了波浪线与视角切换，极致展现了速度与激情，使人与音乐共同沸腾。如果你是音游人，那么这个作品不容错过。
With number blocks, with the number blocks, the thing is I love you. I love you.
Do you like Line Rider? Do you like crossword puzzles? Well, do I have the track for you? Check out the Line Rider crossword puzzle. It's got cute little drawings for each clue, well-balanced inclusions of new and old bits of Line Rider history, but the best part is that you solve it in Line Rider itself. Unfortunately, its difficulty might limit its audience, but there's no harm in giving it a shot, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Go watch Toivo's video and read the description if you want to try it for yourself.
Race Please Be Nice presents an ugly, raw, and honest emotional landscape full of unique environments intertwined within expansive walls of pencil-drawn scribble. This track feels like a glimpse into what it feels like to be hurt and violated on the internet. Ray uses his own experiences to help others emotionally grapple with the often harmful world we live in. In the description of the track, Ray leaves this one final request: please be considerate to other people.
I hadn't listened to the Caretakers' music before Andrew started making these tracks. I haven't listened ahead in the series either, and I don't know what comes next. My only living grandparent, my mom's dad, got diagnosed with dementia a few years back. Every time we talk on the phone now, I feel the static grow a bit louder. And I try so hard to listen through the noise, to hear him, to understand him, because I love him, and I miss him, and I don't know what comes next.
Psst, hey, you there. You over there. Do you want to hear the real shit? I Was Seeing You Through Rose-Colored Glasses, I Still Do, I'm Sorry, is as close as we're ever going to get to a perfect Line Rider track. The way it goes about movement, emotional storytelling, using just a few minimalist elements, rocked me to my very core, and it's why Centralia Fire exists.
Similar to last year, we decided not to include multiple tracks by the same creator in the top 10. An exception was made in the case of Hide and Seek and After, and the reasons for that exception can be found in the detailed report linked in the video description. Only 2 other tracks were eliminated this year, neither of which were selected for the Judge's Choice segment. Those tracks are Gavin Rue 538's Lived, a meditation on growth and change which pairs heart-wrenching choreography with visuals that emphasize the duty of care we have to one another and the environment. And September Hoffman's Voice in Headphones, a heartfelt reflection on what it means to be in community with other artists, which wanders through a beautifully drawn emotional landscape. That's it everyone! Thanks so much for watching our picks for the top 10 Line Rider tracks of 2023. We say this every year, and I think we're gonna keep saying it every year, but we think 2023 was the best year yet for Line Rider as an art form. Please go check out all of these tracks in the playlist in the description, and also check out our documentation of the judging process to see all the other tracks that were nominated. While you're here, feel free to buy us a coffee if you want to support us, and if you're interested in joining the Line Rider Artist Collective, there's an application form for that too. Thanks again for watching. Yeah, thanks. See ya. Get out of here. Goodbye. Farewell. Adios. Au revoir. До свидания. Bye. You might tell that this is a different voice from last year. It's me, September. I'm going to kill you all. I'm going to murder every single one of you. Don't include this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to murder every single one of you. Trans rights. Trans rights.
Oh my god! It's gay!